I'm going to walk through setting up the Google Gemini CLI, which is a command line interface on your computer. I'm using Windows. I'm not a developer, but I do know my way around the command line, and you will too after this video. This is pretty cool stuff. This is also free. So of course there are limits with everything in the AI world right now, but this is pretty generous limits. I gotta give them props where props is due. 1,000 requests per day at no charge, 60 model requests per minute. What does this actually translate into? Well, we'll see. It seems like a lot to me. You're getting to use the Google Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is top of the line, and it's, you know, people love Claude, people love Gemini, people love ChatGPT. So far right now, Gemini, the 2.5 Pro, and the Claude Sonnet 4 are the ones that people seem to say are the best at coding. Now, Gemini has the context window upper hand. They've got this massive $1 million 1 million token context window. So that's huge. You're never, I mean, if you're like me, you're never going to get close to using this entire context window. That's basically how much input and output that you can get and receive from the AI model. It's more than you need, trust me. What we're going to do today is go through and look at how to set this up if you've never set it up before, how to install it on your machine, and then what you can do with it. And what I'm going to do with it specifically is take this project, which is an old project 2 years ago, hadn't touched this since 2 years ago, that I've got up on GitHub. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to open up Gemini CLI. I'm going to say, hey, look through this, and based on what you see, give me a better README file. So here's my README file right now, and it's pretty basic, not much info here. This is, I mean, we're not even touching the code. We may get into the code. I'm not planning on it though. I just want to illustrate how to use this and then how to use it in context of an actual coding project. And this is a small project. So I've got assets up here, which just has a couple images. I've got some scripts, which is just one script JavaScript file. I've got a CSS file, and then I've got an index HTML file. There's not a lot going on here. That's by design. I picked a very just rudimentary basic project to showcase this with. Okay, so I'll link this below. This is the announcement post about Gemini CLI. And the other thing to note, it's open source. So this is kind of cool. Presumably this will grow better over time. People from all over the world can now contribute to this. Also, I will link to the open source project. This is the GitHub repository where this project lives on the internet and is actively being maintained by the open source community and the Google team. So here are the quick start directions right here. First of all, if you don't have Node.js installed, you need to do this first. So you got to have this on your machine, and there's a link to it over here with some instructions for whatever platform that you're using to install that on your machine. I'm going to let you do that right now. If you're not sure if you have this up and running on your machine, you can open up a terminal and you can go node-v and it'll say, bing, there's your version, or it'll say some sort of error like not found. So I've got Node up and running. I think we need Node 18 or more. Yep. Node version 18 or higher for this to work. Now we got two ways to do this. You can do this npx to execution to run the CLI tool, or you can install it globally, which I have already done. And to do that, all you got to do is go npm install, boom, right here in your terminal. You just run that command and it'll go through and take a couple minutes maybe. I did that yesterday. It'll go through and install this. Once it is installed, all right, I'm going to come over here, and this is a bonus. I'm just going to download this zip code. I'm not even going to open it up properly, like forking it or downloading or cloning it or anything. I'm just going to extract the zip file. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say open a terminal. Boom. Now that I'm in here, the command to get this up and running is Gemini. Click enter. It'll take a second, may take a couple seconds here. It took a few seconds last time. It kind of paused there and had to do its thinky thing a few minutes ago when I installed this or when I ran it. And then it's going to say, hey, what do you want to do here? You want to select login with Google? And that's what I'm going to do. Or do you want to do the API key, or do you have a Vertex AI? Those are more advanced options to, I guess, get more of the tokens and more usage. You can use the API key, but that is beyond the scope of this video because I'm going to assume that you're like me and you've not really worked with API keys with all this stuff yet. So we are going to simply log in with Google. That's one of the reasons that I like this Gemini CLI, is because just like every other place in the entire internet, you can just log in with your Google Workspace account or your Google Gmail account. And then once you do that, we're in. So this is it. We are in this directory in that CLC versus main, and we can just start chatting away. And you can see down here, we're using the 2.5 Pro model. It'll keep track of the context window, and we'll like never go below 99% probably for what we're doing here. You can also do, or you can set up Gemini markdown files to customize your interactions with Gemini. Also, beyond the scope of this video, if you want me to dive into some of that, let me know and I'll go learn about it and then report back here in regular human terms instead of developer speak, how that works, why that works, when to use it, how to do it. Let me know in the comments about that. What we're doing though today is we just want to, let's do a couple things. So I'm going to open up my VS Code and I'm going to say, yes, allow code, boom. So that's going to open up the project in VS Code. We're going to see we've got our HTML right here. And then we're going to see we got our scripts, our styles, all that stuff. And we've got the README. So here's the README file that currently exists. And what we said we want to do is say, I want a new README file. Please review this project directory and create a better README for me. All right. And it's going to do its thing. And it'll kind of go through the steps here and it'll use kind of a changes in green, like deletions in red, changes, additions in green. Yeah, there it is. And it'll show you what it's doing. And it'll say, do you want to do this? And I'll say allow once or always allow or modify with external editor. So if you click this, it'll bring up, bing, it'll bring up that file and it'll show you the full version over here in our VS Code or whatever editing software that you're using. And it'll show how, hey, it's deleted this kind of general summation that I had. And then down here in the green are all the things that it's actually going to include. And if we want, can I open the preview? I guess I can't really preview that well. But in order to accept these changes, you click save in here and then you just click X out. So you close this little window and it'll save it. Are you still stuck doing manual tasks that you should have automated a year ago? GotSheet is my free weekly newsletter that I created for solopreneurs and marketers like you to help automate, grow, and scale their businesses without having to hire a team. It's free, it's actionable, and it lands in your inbox every week. Subscribe below, gotsheet.xyz, link is in the description. Okay, and then I'm going to click save. We're not going to overcomplicate that. X out of there, X out of here. Now we're going to always allow, and you can just arrow down in this command line interface when it has choices for you. You just click up or down and then hit enter and it'll do its thing. Now it's saying, hey, yeah, I've created this README file with a detailed description. I'm going to go back over here and check it out. It's already made these changes. Here they are. And there's the live site, contributing. So this is just a little bit better version of what we had going. There's the live site right there too. Actually, I'm just going to keep this badge. Yeah, I'll keep the live site up there also. That's how you do it. So this is pretty sweet. I am going to make another change here. Let's go live with this and show you what the site looks like. As you can tell, this was built not with great aesthetic sensibilities. This was purely a functional tool that I just wanted to work. And so it does just work. I have not tested this, but I'm going to go into Gemini and see if it can create a modified, better, more aesthetically pleasing version of this. And we'll just see what it comes up with. How about that? So we'll go back to PowerShell here. Can you please create a more modern, cleaner, aesthetically pleasing? Don't modify the way it works, but do modify the UI so it's better. I don't know what it's going to do. This may just not do anything. It may screw something up. We're going to find out in real time and see what process it goes through here. It's assessing the CSS structure. And then, oh, check this out. It's got a plan. I'll update the color scheme and typography for a cleaner, more modern look. Cool. Simplify the layout, including hero section to be blah, blah, blah. Redesign the interactive elements. Ensure the new design is fully responsive. Okay, this sounds really good. Whoa, I'm making changes already. I'll start by updating index.html and the styles CSS. I mean, that's all there is. Other than that, there's the JS file. We'll replace it with cleaner, more modern version, and then update styles to match. Now I'll update the CSS to match. I'm really interested what this does because I used Bootstrap before, and I literally just threw up a Bootstrap theme. And I remember this because I employed help from Twitter for the first time when I was trying to see how GitHub worked. And I think I created a project and assigned a couple tasks or issues that I actually had somebody from X, Twitter at the time, reach out and make changes for to create the drop-down functionality. All right, so it has updated this. It says it's updated it all. Okay. Can we see? Hey, looky there. So we've got some broken stuff here. The ESV, NIV, and NASB do not work any longer, but aesthetically, it is a little bit better. Well, I don't know. Do you think this is better or worse? It's cleaner. All right, so here's the current version, and here's the new version. I mean, for one, the versions right here, these need to work, and they don't. Oh, wait, they do. Okay, so they do actually functionally work, but the color doesn't change. All right, so let's see if we can get Gemini to fix that oversight. And let's do a couple things. Pretty good, but needs work. Maybe some gradient color in the hero, maybe some more copy. Feel free to add copy based on the project to fill out some of the page. Ignore if you don't think it needs it. And then the ESV, NIV, and NASB buttons work, but you need to make sure that whichever is active is clearly represented by making that button blue. Do we need anything else? I mean, that's pretty much it. This is very, very basic thing we're building here. And does this have, yeah, oh, we should have said put the directions back in. We can add that manually though. All right, so what's it doing now? So it's going to ingest the main.js file to correctly handle the active class on the buttons. It's probably the only thing it needed to do. Refine the design further by adding a gradient to the hero section, incorporating more descriptive text, ensuring the active button is clearly highlighted in blue. Yeah. All right, so it looks like it's doing good here. And I mean, honestly, it's having to sift through pretty hacky code that I wrote for the JS file. But yeah, hey, that works. All right, so now it's finalizing code modifications. And I've got a live update going on over here. That's why you see that actively working. Hey, look, and there we got a new update with the blue. Scripture memory tool designed to help you hide God's word in your heart with easy access to the verses you need in the translation you prefer. I mean, little hokey right there. We'll leave it in. Otherwise, yeah, this looks great. Project by Eamon. That goes to my site. Say hey on LinkedIn or YouTube. Open sourced on GitHub. Takes you to all the right places. Okay. I mean, I think we'll leave it like this. Here's one more thing I'm going to ask it about. And what we're not doing here, we're not pushing these changes right now. This is just for demo purposes. I'll probably push these afterwards. I think that's good. This is good for the demo purposes. Let me know what you think about this. I'm planning on doing another one of these type of walkthroughs using Claude code, which I have not yet used because the barrier to entry seemed a little bit higher to me than Gemini. Gemini with the Google login and the free tier, I think you have to add money on Claude code to use it. This just made it so easy to hop on board and try out. So what do you think about this? Will you use this? Is this only for developers? I don't think so. I think these toolings will become more user-friendly for people like me and you. Already I'm up and running and doing stuff just without a whole lot of trial and error yet. Let me know in the comments below if you like this. Click the like button, please. Subscribe for more and check this video out next. You're awesome. Have a great one.